with all due respect to the ADOSs, FBAs, to the pretendians, to the Solanis, to the Black Americans, African Americans, to the ones that are on TikTok, to the ones that are on social media, perpetuating misinformation and disinformation in your community. What is the end goal? What is your end goal? I need you to understand this. I need you to digest this. Xenophobia amongst oppressed communities is nothing but self-destruction. I learned a while ago it's important to start listening to people that came before you, because they have experiences that you have never had. And it does break my heart to see so much misinformation and disinformation perpetuated on this app, especially when it comes to the Essence Festival. The Caribbean and Africans, they want what we got. They want what we got. We always ran Essence. We always ran Essence. What the fuck? Y'all should be embarrassed. The truth is, you don't know who is Caribbean. And most of the time, y'all don't know who African until y'all see their names. I'm going to read off my notes so I can be succinct. I'm not trying to hold you. So let's go back to 44 years ago. From 1981 to the year 2000, the editor-in-chief, the person who is the top decision maker of Essence magazine. Now, mind you, the person who sets the tone, the voice, the overall style of the publication, decides what topics are covered and how they're framed, approves or even kills major stories, headlines, and visuals, quality control, brand strategy, content calendar oversight. And she was also the public representation for Essence magazine, was a Caribbean woman. Susan L. Taylor is a first-generation American, like myself. She comes from an ethnically mixed background, Trinidad and St. Kitts. So all of this nonsense that you guys have been perpetuating on this app about Black immigrants and their children, for 19 years, Susan L. Taylor was the face of Essence magazine. That nonsense y'all been saying online has quickly been debunked. Nous pas bouquet. Y'all not tired? Y'all not tired? Nobody wins with xenophobia. Xenophobia amongst oppressed communities is self-destruction. Y'all swear in y'all minds that we are not in 2025. That we as consumers are not consuming media completely different than we were before. Where's the 8-tracks? Where's the records? Where's the cassette players? CDs are still around. Records kind of make a comeback. Where's the VCR? Where's the motivation from your children on Mondays or even Friday night to watch their favorite television shows? There's none. There's Hulu. There's Netflix. I can watch it later. I can stream it later. Where's your motivation to go out and buy a copy of Essence magazine? How many of you guys actually subscribe to Essence magazine? How many of you guys have Essence magazine coming to your home? Too many of you guys are nothing but agents of chaos. You are anti-intellectuals. You are anti-information. You are xenophobic. You guys are bigots and certainly disingenuous. Imagine not being a critical thinker, but having an opinion. Black people, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. We in trouble, yo. I'll catch you in part 2, where I'm going to give you the real information about what's going on with Essence.
Should we call this a diaspora war again? As you guys know, every month or every 2 to 3 months, there is always a diaspora war conversation that goes on the media. And this particular one is centered around the last concluded Essence Fest. Black Americans are asking, what happened to the Essence Fest being about us? What happened to it being for our culture, being for our heritage? What was once a space built specifically to celebrate the unique experience, history, and creativity of Black America is now, according to many, feeling like an entirely different thing, and Black Americans are not here for it. Now the folks online, both Black Americans and Africans, are now debating ownership, they are debating inclusion, and whether Black communities are starting to overstep in a place that wasn't originally created for them. This is a very good conversation. We are not going to be throwing any jabs at any groups of people here. It's just people's feedback to the Essence Fest. Let's get into what the people are saying about the fact that Black American culture is not represented enough at the last concluded Essence Fest.
To know that Essence Fest has essentially abandoned its roots, its cultural roots, its Black American cultural roots, is not only disgusting, it's diabolical behavior. I also believe it's very strategic, and it's aiding in the erasure of Black American culture. Now, a couple of months ago, when Deja said what she said, and y'all know what Deja I'm talking about, everyone said that Black Americans were xenophobic. I don't think that's the case. Black American people have always been welcoming. We are a communal people. People learn culture from us. The doors of the church are always open. Everyone's invited to the cookout. That is how we have always been. And so when we open our arms to everyone else, they come in and say, thank you so much for building the foundation. Now it's ours. And they expect us not to say anything because that's the way it's always been. So I fix what's not broken or seemingly broken. Now, I am a lover of cultures. I am a lover of people. And I'm not going to say everyone from the continent of Africa is against us. But there are a select few that have a mindset that is in alignment with the colonizer. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are we being erased or is this progressive?
I'm not going to fucking hold your hand as I say what I'm going to say, as you are too old, you are too grown to be babied and coddled to hear and accept the truth. With that being said, Black Americans are 100% allowed to want and to have an event that is 100% curated towards them and their culture without feeling the pressure of having to include other cultures of the Black and African diaspora. I said what the fuck I said, and there's nothing wrong with that. People from the Caribbean are 100% allowed to want and to have an event that is 100% curated for them and their culture. Hispanics are allowed the same rights. Natives are allowed the same rights. Everybody is allowed to have that. And I say that because of the recent discourse that is surrounding the Essence Festival. I don't know if you know about it, but there has been critiques basically from the Black American side stating that, especially with this year's Essence Festival, that it has become more Africanized, that Essence Festival has become increasingly more catering towards the African culture than the actual Black American culture. I'm going to make this so abundantly clear. The Essence Festival is known as the largest celebration of Black women. And I understand that when we use the word Black, we're including everybody that is a part of the African diaspora. But Black is a term that is referencing towards the Afro-Americans, okay? The Black Americans here in America. The rest of us, we put Afro in front of our title. Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latina, Afro-Asian, That's what we do. That being said, Essence Festival is an event that was created to celebrate Black American women. Not Black women all over the world, Black American women. And in the recent years, due to the acquisition of the Essence Festival by a Liberian man known as Richelieu Dennis, Essence Festival has become increasingly more catering towards the African culture rather than the Black American culture. And because Black Americans have started to speak up on it, there's actually been some African creators like basically making videos and trying to figure out what's the issue. Why is there so much negative conversation? Like, it seemed like everybody had fun. Two things can be true at once. Yes, people had fun, but they can still see that their culture is being less represented when this is supposed to be an event for their culture and another culture is being celebrated. When you guys have Afrofest, y'all have that. And if people were to go to Afrofest and now started hip hop here and rap over here, you're gonna complain. Because as a Caribbean person, if I hear somebody come to a Caribbean fete and they talking about where's the hip hop, I'm go and find that event. Like, you're gonna complain. So don't act dense. Don't act dense as if you don't understand where some of the negative commentary is coming from. Yes, people had fun, but they could have also had fun while realizing, yo, this is more African than it is American.
As a Black American, I wholeheartedly believe that we should have our places and our spaces to celebrate our culture. And I don't think anybody should have a problem with that, especially all that we've been through in the United States and what it is that represents for the rest of the world. It is okay for us to have cultural pride. And also, there can be a lot of things that we can be angry about when it comes to Essence and Essence Fest. However, I think we need to redirect that anger inward. Because if we are saying that we need these cultural spaces and places, that we take pride in who we are and our things, then we can't sell it. Black culture, and specifically Black American culture, has been commodified and monetized, and we have allowed that to happen. We have had our things, and then we have sold it to the highest bidder. And folks often tout the game is to be sold and not told, but maybe we need to start telling with the selling. Whether it's the selling of BET or Essence Magazine, there was never any fine prints when it came to the selling of these institutions saying that we needed to keep the cultural identity of those particular platforms. And since we don't own it, how then can we dictate what's done with it? So as a community, if it means that much, you got two options. Either don't go or put your coins together. Because a lot of y'all are saying that you liked it prior to African ownership and leadership. But
so you guys let Africans buy Essence Festival, get up on stage, say that the original people are here, and you were silent. So what you need to understand is that Black Americans, those who are native, now there are some that originated in Africa, okay? But those who are native are not African. They are native to America. Do your history, do your research, okay? Native American. My grandmother, full Native American. I need you guys to understand this. Full Carib, okay? Full Carib, which was Native Americans as well. But we will get there. Like, you guys need to understand that Africans and African Americans do not have the same blood. They don't have the same mentality. There is a survival mode that is switched on in every African's mind, and they will love you as much as they need you to survive. You understand. When you understand and you know your history and you learn your history, you can never be bamboozled again. That's all I'll say. And you know what to do, then you won't even come here to argue with me. You will literally do your research and understand that what I am saying to you is what has been hidden for so long. You can fight the power, do everything that you want to do in America as somebody who is not native to America, and still not understand that the original people are Native Americans. We could go even deeper, but I'm gonna stop there. The original. Okay. Well, okay. All right. Okay, wait. Soul music originated in America. Hip hop originated in America. Everything. I live in multiple countries. Every country, Americans are the standard. American culture is the standard. So why do you think that is? If Africans were the original, wouldn't everything originate in Africa? Wouldn't it? Okay. Okay.
Black American people need to stop identifying as African American. Yeah, I said it. We are not African. That is the problem. That is why Africans feel so comfortable coming in and infiltrating Black spaces like Essence Fest, because they think we all one and the same, one band, one sound. No, 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 no. We are natural born American citizens. We've been here for 4 or 5 centuries, 400 years plus, and we still not identifying as Americans. We're not Africans. That's why they come over here and they feel so comfortable with disrespecting us, because they think they super Africans, right? And we the little peon Africans because they got the direct source of the motherland and they know where they come from and they roots and all that stuff. Of course you do. 1 generation ago, you got here yesterday. You are the true African American Africans. Y'all come here from Ghana, from Senegal, from wherever, Ethiopia, whatever. Y'all come here and you get your citizenship or plant your roots, whatever. You're Africans - Americans, African Americans. Black Americans are not Africans. I don't have no Africans in my family, period. I'm from California. My dad is from California. My grandma's from Wichita, Kansas. My great-grandma's from Wichita, Kansas. I can go back generations of Americans. That is where the confusion is coming from. And then people come from different countries and they come in our home, our house. This is our house. Yeah, the other half of our house might try to make us uncomfortable. The whites, they want to make us uncomfortable in our house. We all share in the same house. But at the end of the day, this is still our house. We're the visitors. Visitors are coming here and treating us like we less than. We can change the narrative. It's our storyline. We keep letting other people write our storyline and then getting mad at the story. There's too many of us to not be creating our own narrative. Let's change the narrative, okay? Take back the pride in what it means to be a Black American. Start highlighting our successes as a group of people, our successes, our contributions to America as a whole. Highlight that instead of hyper fixating on slavery. Let's let that storyline kind of simmer down a little bit and focus on the inventions and the contributions that Black people make today and have made for the past 4 or 5 centuries while we've been in America, and start to elevate as a people. Stop letting people push us down with their own narratives and start writing our own story to elevate us as a people in our home. This is our house, not theirs. This is our home. We are natural born American citizens, and don't let nobody tell.
African Americans versus Africans at the Essence Fest. Boy, niggas, man. Y'all really sitting on this TikTok, basically having a battle with people that look just like you. They said an African bought Essence and you mad, but an African wouldn't be able to buy Essence. You niggas would have bought it yourself. And let me correct that, man. I don't like the word nigga, man. But when niggas be niggaing, hate niggas. But we literally all the same, man. We all have different cultures. Y'all know Africa's a continent too, so like, when y'all just say Africans, that's kind of disrespectful. Nah, but for real, man, you know how stupid we look on this white man's internet arguing about African American and African and all that, and it's like, boy, it seems like we ain't gonna never get it because we always gonna find something to fight each other over. It's a music festival, y'all. Shout out to Ibrahim Touré, Burkina Faso.
Yeah, the Black Americans, they won't be back to the Essence Festival. I just watched some videos and they won't be back. That lady said the originals are here. The original what, ma'am? Y'all are mad disrespectful. Mad disrespectful. But hey, you know what? You bought it. Good luck with it. Good luck with it.
Africans had to take over Essence Fest because nobody wants to hear or participate in what they got going on. Trust me, if Essence Fest was pure African, nobody would go. You see how nobody went this year because we found out it was African. If it had been African this whole time, nobody would show up because nobody's interested in what they got going on. They're a whole continent full of uninteresting people and uninteresting culture. They're a continent full of people who have to live in the past. They talk about the times when they were from Egypt. Egypt is only one part of Africa. It's the north part of Africa, and it's one country. I really only got respect for Ethiopia and Egypt. That's it. Everybody else is pretty much hogwash. I mean, what do they got going on themselves? They take pride in something that happened 3,000 years ago. The closest thing that Africa has done is the Moors. Oh my gosh. And that was like from the year 711 to like the 1400s. 600 years ago. In the last 600 years, they have done nothing relative except take over our culture.
So you're calling me a xenophobic because I don't want other groups of people coming inside my culture, pushing their narratives and their own people inside of something that was started for Black Americans, like the Essence Festival. I mean, shit. If that's the case, you might as well call me the xenophobic king. Because listen, I believe in elite division. I believe in separation, delineation, all of that. This whole narrative that Black people got to all come together as one collective group, don't nobody do that shit. So I don't know why they trying to enforce it on us. Look at Asia. The Japanese don't like Chinese. There's no problem. They respect each other's culture. You motherfuckers don't know respect and get mad when you get called out for it. Listen, I'm not no Pan-Africanist, and I don't believe in everybody being one. But if there is one story from Africa or one leader from Africa that I do admire, or I do like his teachings, it's Shaka Zulu. If you paid attention to Shaka Zulu and his story, he believed in division. He understood that all skin folks ain't kin folks. And he led with that. And while everybody thought he was crazy for thinking that other tribes of Blacks weren't one group of people and everybody had their own agenda, when he died, sooner or later, they came to find out that the fall of the empire came from bringing all groups of people inside their tribe. See what I'm saying? So as a Black American, I'm taking that same teaching, taking that same example, and then applying it to my people. Don't let all the motherfuckers in here. Not all of them deserve to be here. So call it what you want. Xenophobic, racist, prejudice, all that shit. I'm all of it. We here now. The delineation is here. Whether you want to call yourself FBA, ADOS, it's happening. And don't feel bad because these other groups of people, they're not coming to America to help us. They're coming to America to do what they did at Essence Festival, which is take over the things that we started, the things that we built, and they want a part of it. They just want to take. See what I'm saying? But haven't you noticed everything that they touch that we built, it starts to fall apart? Right. So we got to be like Shaka Zulu. Cut them out.
Essence Fest is something we know that started as a celebration of Black womanhood in America. It is deeply rooted in the legacy of Black American women, their strength, their style, their music, their fashion, everything, just name it. It was one of the few national stages where Black American culture was front, center, and as well the back. No filter, no remix, and no need for actual outside approval. But this particular one that happened this year, something felt so off to the people who attended. And let me say to the people who watch from afar as well, because a lot of them have been online saying they did not attend it because it felt very hard. Americans online are talking about how they felt disconnected. Like the spotlight is no longer on them. Performance, the fashion, the food, the conversation on the panel, people are saying, or let me just say Black Americans are saying it is giving global Blackness and no longer centering them. And while the global unity of Black people sound very great, so many of them felt like the culture that was being celebrated at this Essence Fest doesn't feel like them anymore. Someone even said this feels like a diaspora convention and not the normal Essence Fest that they know about. It has sparked a lot of conversation to a point where they are now revealing that the owner of Essence Fest now is an African. That it has been sold to an African. And here is where another conversation is coming from on the side of African people there, because they are as well responding to Black Americans, because some comments were being mean actually. And you guys already know that when it comes to conversations like this, both parties are going to try to stand strong on whatever it is that they feel that it is right. So many Africans are coming from a conversation of this thing has been sold to an African. You cannot expect it to be sold to an African, and they will not try to include their people. And the sentiments that so many Black Americans are having is that we built this, we needed this, we have to have an event that only caters to us, that only centers us, and we do not need to bring, this other diaspora people into it. We need one that only has to do with Black Americans. And to be honest, I do not think that is bad. I do not think that is bad genuinely. It is okay to have something that caters to them, that is all about them. And there are other celebrations that can include all other people as well. Everyone should be able to have that specific thing that they are known for, that specific thing that is attached to them, especially in scenarios like this. So I feel like that point actually makes sense. I feel like to an extent, I agree. I agree with that. So they are asking the question of at what point do we get to have something to ourselves without feeling guilty about saying that? Because this conversation is now shifting to a xenophobic conversation to Black Americans. They are now being called names because they said they want something that only centers them. They want something that is only them that, is allowed to attend. Like they want something that is so close knitted, like a family celebration, because we are all Black Americans here. So many of them are even coming from a point of they are going to stop identifying or calling themselves African American, and they are going to go more on Black American because it's almost like it is getting mixed here. And yes, let's not forget the fact that a few months ago we had a conversation of a Black American woman online stating that so many Africans have taken over the beauty space, and there is no longer representation of Black American culture in the beauty space. That there is no longer a representation of a Black American person in that space anymore. That the people you see, the big influencers in the beauty space that you see now, is literally African or just people that are not like Black American. And what they are saying now is that they are not trying to gatekeep Blackness. They just want to keep a legacy that they have been practicing for years now. And I do not think that is bad, if we're honest. I even saw a comment of someone saying that is the exact way they feel about Dirty December. And if you don't know what Dirty December is a celebration that happens in Nigeria where people fly to Nigeria to go enjoy, because there are so many parties and just so many activities during this time. And because of the fact that now 30th December is being crowded, they are talking about how they feel the same way as well. So to an extent, Black Americans have a point on this one. And I want to hear what you guys think, honestly. So I do not genuinely think that they are hating on other culture. They are just asking to have a space that is specifically for them, that is known like for them, that is attached to them, that feels like a family meeting to them. They just want to have a space where they do not have to share with, other diaspora, other Black people. And to be honest, that can happen. Like, it's not like it's something difficult to happen. But the point that other Africans are having is that it has been sold to an African person. You will not expect this person not to bring their culture or try to bring two cultures together because, it's fun when you share culture. So the conversation that they are having, to me, it is real. It is very much valid. If we are going to talk about Pan-Africanism or global Black unity, the real way, we have to be able to acknowledge where things feels imbalanced or not fair. Black Americans are saying, we welcome everyone, but do not take over our space. Do not erase the people who build the stage that you are now shining on, because, there have always been this point of, African people come over to America, on the foundation that they have built and started, to create a community off of it, started to benefit off of it. And in the process of doing that, was much further to erasing the people who have worked so hard for the things that they are now enjoying. Let me hear what you guys think about this conversation. In part 2, there are some African people who attended the first, and so many Africans as well getting so many things off of their chest that I genuinely do not want you guys to miss. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because that is going to be the next part following this particular one. Let me hear what you guys think about this whole conversation in the comment section. I will see you in the next part.